So hello guys, I am back again with the another video. So today's video is going to be on one of the topic of data science, that is analyzing and extracting data to get an insight before starting the complex analysis. So before starting the complex analysis on a data frame, first we need to understand about the data frame. So we actually use some statistical methods to understand it better, and we also need to cluster our data in a specific manner to perform the visualization type of task to a specific part of our data. So let's get started with it. So here I have imported some necessary libraries that are going to be required. NumPy is a library that helps us to play with the arrays in Python, and Pandas is a library which allows us to work in two type of data structures, that is series and data frames. So today we are going to use the data frame, that is a two-dimensional data structure, and matplotlib. We are finally using matplotlib for visualization of our data. So these are the libraries that we are using. Then I am going to use a CSV data of the countries that I have downloaded from the our world in data, which is about the population living in urban and rural areas. Let me show you that CSV. Mm. So we have this type of data. So we have this type of data of about 263 countries, which having the year range from 1960 to 2020, and followed by their urban and rural populations. So for analyzing, first we need to load our data. So for load our data, we will use a function that is pd.read_csv. Pd is nothing but, as we imported the pandas as alias pd, so wherever we require to write the pandas, we will use pd. Okay, so let me write. And here we need to enter the path of our CSV. So I have already uploaded my data to the drive, and here I am using a Google Colab that is very good to use for the data science. And if you are into machine learning to get started, you don't need to do any further installations into your system. You can simply log into the Google Colab and you can make your free account to use it. Okay, so I have uploaded my data set into my drive, and you can mount your drive, that is you can connect your drive from this icon, and you can open that drive. From here I have my data, so I will simply copy the path of my data set and I will paste it. This function will read the CSV and then convert it into a data frame. Let me print it. So here we have our data frame. So first of all, we can do some type of statical analysis. For this, you can simply write a one function, that is df1.describe. For how to handle the missing values in a data frame, I will make a separate video. So with this describe method, you can get some of the statical, uh, what we can say, quantities for the columns. And now we will try to find how many unique countries we have in our data frame. So let me say, so in this function, this df1.country will read the single column of this data frame, that is country, and this unique function will remove the duplicate quantities from this array, and this finally toList function will convert it into a list. So let me show you this list. Countries. Yeah, here we go. So we have this many countries. Let me show you the length of this list, which will help us to understand how many countries we have. Okay, so totally we have 263 countries. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to extract the data for a specific country from this data frame. So in our traditional method, what we can do the iteration in our data frame using iter rows, but it will take a lot of time and efforts. So I'm going to tell you about a method which is commonly known by the data scientists and people who are into the machine learning, but some of the beginners don't know about this, and might do the complex programming for extracting the specific part from our data frame. So that is grouping the data. So that is grouping our data using group by countries df1 dot group by, and here's the name of our specific column. So this is a variable which will store this group. Df1 is the name of our data frame, and we need to group by with the name of country. So let's see. Now let me show you the groups. Okay, so we have these many groups for different countries. Now we want to extract the data for any specific country. For example, we need to extract the data of India. So what we can do is, first we will convert this dictionary into a data frame, and here you can mention the country name. Like I have used the Afghanistan for example. We can also do for India. Let's see, for India, and we can print this data frame. Okay, so we have a new data frame which contains the data from year 1960 to 2020 for India, followed by its urban population and the rural population. So now what we can do is we can use this data frame for further visualization of our data. That is for visualization. I am going to use a bar graph. So first we need two quantities, that is x coordinate and y coordinate. In a graph we need two types of values which is going to plot in the x coordinate and a y coordinate. So for x coordinate I am going to use this year value, and for the y we need to use this urban population. Okay, so say let's store this value in a x variable. Mm, okay, so this function will store your data of year column in a variable x, and for y similarly df1, and we have this. Okay, so now we have two type of values. Let me show you by printing it. Print x, yeah, and print y. Now we are going to plot it. So for now I'm going to use the bar graph. So let me show you plt dot bar, and we can pass the coordinates comma y. You can also mention the labels for the x coordinate and the y coordinate. Should work fine. Yeah, so it looks fine. To increase the size of a figure, we will use this, so it will beautify it. So yeah, it looks better now. So that was all from our today's session, and I will leave the link in the description below for the dataset and this code. And let me know about your suggestions in the comment section. Thank you.